Hello, my friends, and welcome to Truth Bomb, the quickfire quiz show where I test the best the indie media has to offer. And AI's official narrative of a truth bomb or two thrown in. I have convinced some of the best indie researchers, journalists, and hosts on the World Wide Web to compete against each other in a quiz show which will shake the very foundations of mankind. AI sets the official narrative, but there will be plenty of occasions for each contestant to throw in a truth bomb to set the record straight and for a chance to win extra points for the answers. Let's play Truth Bomb. Excellent. First up today is Jay Dyer. Jay, it's awesome to have someone of your caliber on the show. You're a powerhouse of the independent media. Do you think your downfall will be destroying your wife publicly on Truth Bomb?
That's a tough question. I'm not sure what I'm getting into, so I don't know that I could commit to saying that I'm going to destroy, but I'm definitely going to try. So thank you for having me. Glad to be here.
You will get extra points. You know, there's corruption points, there's bonus points, there's laughter points. All sorts of points can be awarded for all sorts of reasons. Some of your associates have already appeared on the show. Some people you know, people like Ruckus. So after you've beaten your wife, do you intend to finish off Ruckus maybe too?
Yeah, I didn't know that there were like semifinals and championships. So yeah, maybe we can go progress in the rankings. Sure.
Oh, you're talking about the game. Well, I was going to supply Diddy Lotion and film it if you wanted, but let's keep going anyway. You're an expert in operations involving predictive programming run by various nefarious intelligence agencies. Is this true?
I have proficiency in that domain. I think so.
So are the Simpsons really convincing people to poorly maintain health and safety standards at nuclear power plants?
I think a lot of the Simpsons stuff is exaggerated. So
yeah, I agree. Okay, so a question for you, Jay. Everyone knows Maximus Decimus Meridius, commander of the armies of the North, general of the Felix legions, you know, loyal servant to the true emperor, Marcus Aurelius, father to a murdered son, husband to a murdered life. Was he the real brains behind Operation Gladio?
Russell Crowe?
Yeah, no, maybe. Who knows?
No, you talking about the commander under Marcus Aurelius? No, he wasn't involved in Gladio.
Well, let's go to the real brains behind this operation. Hello, Jamie. How are you?
Good. How are you?
Welcome.
Thank you.
Yeah, I'm very happy to meet you for the first time properly. I've interviewed your hubby once before. It was a brilliant experience for me. I was actually a little bit excited, to be honest, because he's a big wig, isn't he? How do you feel about living with such a, an important man in the independent media?
Oh, well, we have a lot of fun, and this is really fun because I love game shows, and I make up my own game shows too, and Jay's the only one who can beat me in Mario Kart, so I'm excited to see how it's going to go today.
Oh my God.
She might beat me at this, we'll see.
Yeah.
Oh, Matt,
she beats me at chess, though. She beats me at chess.
Yeah, so it's even.
Are you talking SNES Mario Kart, or are you talking N64 Mario Kart, or are you talking something beyond my time that I don't understand?
It's basically the same. It's just they add more levels. So 64 Mario Kart's really no different than the new one. It's all the same.
Yeah, it's true. Okay, well, you have a mind as well, Jamie, to be respected. And a wrath to be feared, especially by your husband. And everyone knows I love causing lasting frictions between close confidants. So are you prepared to show this pretender how truth really feels when it repeatedly punches you in the face? Yeah?
I'm ready. I could take it.
Okay, and just on a very violent note then, I'm not normally one to encourage domestic violence, but if anytime during the show you do give Jay, anytime you throw anything at him, you just happen to just pop in while he's doing his round, hit him with something, anything like that, you will get 2 points. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Okay, excellent, good. I'm glad you agree with that. If Jay does the same.
If I hit him with a truth bomb, then I get extra.
Yeah, but a physical truth bomb. It's gotta be a physical truth bomb.
Start
and
throwing
if he does the same,
at me. She's got Crowley books behind her. She'll start throwing those at me.
I'm backed up by black magic right here.
Anything like that. If it causes injury, I might even think about increasing points, but we'll talk about that depending on legal quandaries later down the road. But if Jay does the same, of course, he'll be deducted 2 points. So we won't have any patriarchy on this show, except for the fact I'm in control of everything and I have an outie rather than innie. Okay, so you are following up. This is the first time that we've got a male versus a female. We've had Rachel Wilson taking on Rotting Jules last week. We had Courtney Turner versus Monica Perez. Do you think you're going to be able to represent, Jamie?
I think I can make the women proud. I think I can do it.
Excellent. Let's get on with the game then.
Okay, let's do it.
So, Jamie, this is your
Yeah.
true and false round. You can pick from modern witchcraft, magic orders, metaphysics, the arrest of Pavel Durov, the fall of Bashar al-Assad, or Charles Manson.
Let's pick magic orders.
Ooh, magic orders. Okay. Okay, Jamie Dyer, 18 true or false questions on magic orders. I think you'll probably be quite good at some of this. Some of this is hard, though. This is an expert quiz, so I wouldn't know half of these. So, true or false? The Hermetic Order of the Golden Dawn was founded in 1888.
True.
Ooh, nice. Okay. Do you have any truth bombs?
Did I get it right?
Oh, yes. Correct.
Okay, we're on a roll. Let's go.
You're doing well. You got one, but you can add a truth bomb. So you can add anything extra about
They would say they go back to antiquity, but yeah, their modern order started in 1888.
So when do you think you could probably trace back this sort of thing to?
Well, most of these things, they get their authority from Plato's Atlantis and Plato's Utopia. They draw from ancient Egypt. They draw from Babylonian lore. So, Hermes would be the character of Hermetica. That is Egyptian and Greek god. So it goes back to antiquity.
Excellent. Add the word truth bomb, and I'll give you an extra point.
Truth bomb.
Excellent. Extra point there. Brilliant. So that's one for the correct answer and one for the truth bomb there. Okay. The Ordo Templi Orientis, OTO, focuses on Christian mysticism.
False.
Oh, correct. You are correct. It is
Yes.
false. Anything else on that? You want to do a truth bomb? Oh, lovely.
Yeah, the OTO focuses on Egyptian magic primarily, and the use of sex and other bodily fluids to perform ceremonies. So that would be your Gnostic Catholic Mass. And this was started by Theodore Roos, I think his name was, and taken over by Aleister Crowley when he figured out some of the secrets of the OTO, supposedly all on his own. And they inducted him as fast as they could because it involved the use of different bodily orifices for the working of magic.
You're going to be brilliant on Truth Bomb. I'm looking forward to this. You got there's some big scores that have been made.
Nice.
And that's a good one. No, you already said it at the beginning. You get the Truth Bomb for it. Correct on both of the first and good Truth Bombs. Okay. Wicca, popularized by Gerald Gardner, is a magical order founded in the 19th century.
False.
Oh, yes, it's false. Correct.
So that would be 20th century. Gerald Gardner, I think about in the 50s, started out. Wicca was a nudist camp.
Is this a truth bomb?
Yes, truth bomb.
Okay, good.
Well, the Gardnerian version of Wicca started in the 50s, I think, and it was just, we joke about it because it was just his way of making a cult so he could touch grannies' butts.
Okay. Oh, you just scored yourself a laughter point for making me laugh. So well done. Yeah, did it. So it is true, 1950s, as a modern pagan religion. Okay, next one. The Illuminates of Thanateros, if I'm correctly saying that, founded in the 1970s, pioneered chaos magic.
Can you say the name one more time? Because I've never heard it.
The Illuminates of Thanateros. That's Thanateros.
I've never heard that name, so I'm just gonna say false, but it could be true.
Unfortunately, you are wrong. It is true.
Okay.
But still, that's good. It's this group. It was a group led by Peter J. Carroll, emphasized experimental magic.
Carol.
There you
Okay,
go.
yeah. Sigil
Okay.
and chaos magic.
The next one, the Golden Dawn required all members to be practicing Christians.
False, unless you're talking about Catholic.
No. It is false. You are correct. I'll accept that. Membership was open to those interested in esotericism, if I'm saying it right, regardless of religion.
Right.
Yes. Okay, right. You can throw in a truth bomb at any time. Even if you get the answer wrong to a question, you can throw in a truth bomb.
Uh-huh.
Okay. The next one. I think it's the A star is a magical order found by Aleister Crowley for spiritual training.
Okay.
Is that true or false?
Argentium Astrum. Yeah, so that was founded by Aleister Crowley, and it was the inner order to worship the star Sirius. And we actually just did a live stream on this on my channel. It's the newest one. It's called Lom the Eggman. So the Argentium Astrum was created to be more in contact with this alien they called Lom, and he is the one where we get like the gray alien, the big head. With
Sounds like a truth bomb. This all sounds like a truth bomb.
Yes.
I swear to
So
God.
that was true, and here's your truth bomb. And you can go watch the whole episode called Lom the Eggman. So yeah, Argentium Astrum.
Okay, everybody should definitely go and watch Alarm Eggman straight away. Excellent. I did actually see that up there. Franz Barden's Initiation into Hermetics is a key text for magical training.
True.
True, correct. Yes. Do you know when it was published? If you get within 1 year, I'm being hard. If you get within 1 year, you'll get 2 points.
1960.
No, you were close though. 1956.
Oh,
you were just if you'd been two more. That was good. Okay, next one. The Rosicrucian Order, AMORC, was founded in the 18th century.
True.
No, it's false.
Okay, what does they say?
In 1915, they say AMORC was established in 1915 by H. Spencer Lewis in the U.S. You can't give me anything about the order or any information about it, though.
That's another group that would say they go back to Egypt. And I used to have this little book. It was a pamphlet, and it was like an old Rosicrucian pamphlet called Unto Thee I Grant. And they actually say that the first Rosicrucian was the pharaoh Akhenaten of Egypt.
Wow. Okay. Well, that's going back a little bit further than the 18th century as well. That's a good truth bomb. Okay, we'll give you a point for that. Yeah, you scrape one back. Okay, the Arcane School, founded by Alice Bailey, teaches about ascended masters. True. Yes, correct. Okay, it promotes esoteric teachings on spiritual hierarchies.
Yes, me and Courtney Turner actually have done several shows on the UN, which comes from the Lucis Trust or the Lucifer Trust, which was the publications that were to promote the idea, these hidden masters in the Himalayas and to promote things like yoga and spirituality in the West.
Definitely sounds like a truth bomb. I'm going to give it as a truth bomb, even though you didn't say truth bomb. And I love Courtney Turner as well. So she was going to run off with me, but then she got married. What can you do? There you go.
Yeah,
unlucky in love.
Nice.
That's it. Right. So the Golden Dawn was dissolved in the 1920s and has no modern successors.
False?
False. Yes, correct.
Okay.
I know, isn't it?
Yeah. I was like, did the OTO, is that considered a successor to the Golden Dawn? I'm not sure.
I think you could probably say that. Yeah,
Yeah.
I reckon you could say that. So, have you got anything else? So, yeah, I'll give you an
He's
extra
yelling
point,
at
a
me,
little
so I
bit
don't
more.
know. Are you yelling at me? Oh, he said there's a modern version.
Right. He says the modern, but he's not allowed to tell you these
Okay.
things. He's your enemy. Oh my God, you competing. You're not doing
Okay,
right.
I forgot. We're supposed to be competing.
Watch it, or you'll get deducted a point for cheating.
We're trying to help each other. Okay.
Yeah, I can understand that. Okay. Next one. The Society of the Inner Light teaches only Eastern spiritual practices.
False. I don't know what that is, but
False. Yeah, correct.
sounds like it encompassed a lot of things. So
yeah. Well. Can you guess like one of the things that it may encompass?
meditation.
Possibly. It says because I was looking. They got Western esotericism, including Kabbalah.
Okay.
And Christian mysticism. So probably lots of meditation involved, but I won't give you a point for that. But you get correct.
That's
okay. Next one, the Vril Society, VRIL, was a 20th century occult group tied to German nationalism.
True.
Yeah, true. Yeah. And go on, Truth Bomb if you want.
Yeah, Tiny Mustache Man. We did a show on Rockfin called Tiny Mustache Man and the Dark Occult, and yeah, the Vril Society is where they get the ideas of like Wagner and the esoteric Ubermensch Nietzsche man taking over.
Yes.
Yeah.
I'm an Ubermensch. Yeah, okay. I tell you what, I give you an extra point there for mentioning my people. No, I'm joking. But can you still find them on Rockfin? Do they still? They still have the videos available on there?
Yeah.
Because I know my channel when I can't upload to it anymore. No one can. I don't think.
Oh, I haven't tried uploading in a couple months, so maybe.
Oh no one can upload anymore. They stopped it. They rug pulled it, unfortunately.
Oh.
So make sure you've got that backed up elsewhere because I'd like to see that. So
okay. Yeah, I'll release it on X.
It's a good idea. The Rosicrucian Fellowship teaches reincarnation and karma.
True, maybe.
True, correct. Okay. Yes.
In an Egyptian way, yeah.
Yeah, it's a concept central to its esoteric Christian teaching.
Mm-hmm.
Esoteric Christian. And okay, talk about more esoteric Christian Christianity. The Church of Satan believes in a literal supernatural Satan.
False.
Yeah, correct.
Yeah, so the Church of Satan, the Anton LaVey Satanist, would be just a materialist atheist, basically.
Yeah, so Elon Musk, you're saying.
Dark MAGA, yeah.
Yeah, all the Dark MAGA boys. I'll give you a truth bomb for that. And for the question. Okay, next one, we got about 4 left, I think. The reclaiming tradition founded by Starhawk blends Wicca with feminism.
Say true. It sounds interesting.
Correct.
Okay.
Correct. It emphasizes ecofeminism. that makes me laugh. And social justice in magical practices.
We were just talking about cyberfeminism the other day.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There's all different flavors.
Yeah, there is. Izzy Wizzy.
Yeah.
Let's get Black Lives Mattering. Okay, next one. The Thule Society was primarily a women's spiritual group.
False.
False, yes, indeed.
Yeah. No, it's a very masculine club, I think.
Yeah, it was male-dominated occult group with nationalist aims. I'll give you correct for that one. Okay, 2 left. The OTO was originally founded in Germany in the early 20th century.
True.
Oh, good, correct. Yes, it was. Okay, can you guess when it was established again? The rules are if you guess and you're two away, you can have 2 points.
1911.
Oh, 1904.
Dang. Okay.
Established by Theodore Rus.
Yes.
Okay, and last one. The builders of the Adytum, Adytum, teaches tarot and Kabbalah to its members.
True.
Yeah, true. It's a very logically, it's a very specific question. Isn't
Yeah,
it?
I haven't heard that either, but yeah.
Yeah, I've not heard of it either, but I guess that's the type of thing nefarious people get up to. Okay, yeah, founded by Paul Foster Case. It focuses on their esoteric disciplines. Okay, so for an extra point to end the round, do you have any sort of truth bombs on magical orders and the direction it's gone, or anything about them over the past century that you want to finish off the round with?
I guess the truth bomb about magic would be that it doesn't really satiate you. I mean, it doesn't, in a practical way, it does not help you forward your life as much as it claims. It's kind of a labyrinth, and basically it's a carrot on a stick. You know, you're like, if I could just read one more esoteric book, or just join one more order, or do one more spell or whatever, then it's going to make your life better in a tangible way, and it just really doesn't.
That is definitely worth a point. I completely agree. It does always seem to be, and I've seen a lot of people go down these paths. It's always the hope that the one thing will solve it all, the next step, and everything will be a happy ending. Excellent. That was a really good round. I'll be interested to know what your scores were like. Okay, Jay, you are left with modern witchcraft, metaphysics, the fall of Bashar al-Assad, the arrest of Pavel Durov, or Charles Manson, whoever he is.
I guess I'll start with my stronger suit in these. But you're saying I can't pick the one she picked, right? It's got to be different.
You can't pick magic orders, no, because unfortunately, I get a feeling you would know all of the answers.
I knew all of them but one, but metaphysics.
Oh, you a dangerous man. Dangerous man with a dangerous lady. Okay, Jay Dyer, I'm looking forward to this one. I have to admit that when looking at some of these questions, fundamentally my mind.
Well, I should have thought about this, because modern day people think of metaphysics as like angels and demons and witches, but I was thinking of the medieval discipline of philosophy of metaphysics. So we'll go for either one. I don't care which one it pulls up.
Ooh, well, a little bit of column A and a little bit of column B. Maybe you'll get a little bit more of that later. Okay, so 18 true or false questions on metaphysics. First question. Metaphysics is the study of the fundamental nature of reality.
True.
Yes, correct. An easy one to start off. Any? Do you want to throw in a truth bomb right at the start about anything?
Well, the only truth bomb of it would be to reiterate that modernity thinks of metaphysics as when you walk into the bookstore and you see the witchcraft and the astrology, but in the discipline of philosophy, metaphysics is classically meant, as you just defined it there, the study of being or reality.
Yeah, excellent. Okay. I'll give you a truth bomb point for the definition there. There's a point for the correct answer, a point for truth bomb. Okay, Aristotle taught that universals exist independently of physical objects.
False. Aristotle has the opposite position of his teacher.
Is this a
Plato.
truth bomb?
Truth bomb. Correct.
Yeah. Okay. And what was so that was Plato's belief then?
Correct.
Okay.
Yeah, Aristotle believes that universals exist in the objects.
Excellent. Okay. Oh, this is going to be very, very, very dangerous indeed. Hey, I will say that Jamie shouldn't help out anything here. If I see any help in the chat for struggling Jay, then I'll deduct points.
I'm sure they're going to get tougher, but
yeah. Okay. Materialism claims. Oh, maybe they're easier. Okay. Materialism claims that all reality is ultimately physical.
That is correct. True.
Yeah, true. Materialism denies the existence of non-physical entities like souls or abstract objects.
So wait, is there an incentive?
You could say truth bomb and you can add in information.
So the incentive is for me to say truth bomb no matter what, and then to get a point. Or
well, you can do that. It depends if I give you the truth bomb.
Oh, you may
if
not.
I think it's not good, it's not good enough. I might get rats to eat your toes.
Okay. Truth bomb here is that modern society, I believe, has been engineered to prefer and to believe in a radical materialist worldview for the purpose of being controlled and socially engineered by oligarchs and technocrats.
Okay, that's a good truth bomb. I like it. Okay. I like it. Makes me feel good inside. Okay. This next one. Locke argued that personal identity depends solely on bodily continuity.
That's a tough one because he believed in tabula rasa, so bodily continuity. I'm going to guess that his belief in blank slate would require that, so I'm going to say true.
It's false. I'm afraid Locke emphasized psychological continuity, especially memory for identity.
Okay.
But remember as well, I mean, this is, again,
AI.
You're countering AI's narrative. So, I mean, you do have to put your tongue in cheek in some parts of it. But there you go. Essence, next one. Essence refer to the necessary properties defining a thing's nature. Essences.
That is true. That is true.
Okay, true. Essences are intrinsic qualities that make an entity what it is.
Truth bomb.
Okay. Go on.
This is something that has been denied in modernity, especially postmodernity and postmodern philosophy, because it would mean that there are traits or attributes or qualities that we don't socially construct or that we don't control that determine who we are. In other words, we're either a man or a woman. So modern philosophy, magical thinking, postmodern philosophy has to deny that to have things like the gender revolution.
Excellent truth bomb there. You get a point there. That's brilliant. Okay. Idealism holds that reality is entirely independent of the mind.
False. Idealism is the position that reality is mind.
Well, you're dangerous. You're going to be dangerous in this game. It's true. Correct. That is. I will give you a truth bomb as well for actually defining what it is as well. I'll accept. That's a complicated thing to explain so simply. Dualism posits that the mind and body are distinct substances.
Correct. There's many forms of dualism, but that's the most basic, usual explanation of it. Mind-body problem.
Yeah. Okay, excellent. And you go across to the next one. The problem of universals debates whether properties like redness exist independently.
Correct. That's the medieval debate of the nominalists versus the realists.
Yeah, indeed. This debate contrasts realism, which affirms universal's existence, with nominalism, which denies it. Quite right. And extra nominalism asserts that universals exist as independent entities.
False. Nominalism asserts that they are existing in name only and not in any kind of ontological metaphysical status of being real.
Yeah, very good. Okay, yeah, correct. And I'll give you a truth bomb point for the definition. That is quite accurate. Realism in metaphysics claims that universals exist independently of the mind.
Correct.
True. Yes, correct. You're right. You're right. Realism's posits that properties like beauty have objective existence. If at all as well, you think about something that's related to the subject, something about the people who come up with these ideas, anything like that.
Yeah, I can go, truth bomb on that one too. Modernity is pretty much like the other subject that we covered in terms of gender and postmodernity. Reality, or today's conceptions are pretty much nominalist. There's not many people that defend any kind of realism nowadays. That goes along with the materialist worldview that most of the time, if you're a materialist, 99.9% of the time, you would also believe that there are no real essences or universals or qualities outside of the mind or the human domain of social construct.
Ooh, I like it. It makes me happy
All
when
go together.
people say stuff like that. Excellent. Okay, next one. You get a truth bomb there. Kant argued that we can fully know things in themselves. Noumena.
False. Kant posited the strict division between the phenomena and the noumena, and the phenomena are the things, the appearances that we know, and the noumena are the things in themselves, or the Ding an sich in the German, that we cannot know.
Yeah, that's dirty. Yes, correct. And I'll give the truth bomb point because that was a brilliant explanation there. The principle of identity states that everything is identical to itself. A equals A.
Correct. That is the classical Aristotelian, one of the three Aristotelian laws, the law of identity.
Excellent. Okay, I'm just going to accept that question there. Go on. Leibniz's principle of sufficient reason claims everything happens randomly.
False. The PSR claims that there is some explanation for every event.
Yeah, indeed. Honestly, my eyes going cockeyed with some of these questions when I was reading them earlier.
That one, you can tell by the words themselves what that one means, right? Like, yeah, by definition, right?
Indeed, they do that a lot. To be honest, some of the AI questions are hilarious. Spinoza's pantheism equates God with the universe.
Correct. And Spinoza, interestingly, was influenced by the truth bomb, the atheistic Platonists that were in Byzantium, like Platon. And a lot of people don't know this, but Spinoza's pantheism that got him excommunicated from his synagogue influenced the actual Illuminati, the Jacobins in the French Revolution.
That's amazing. That Platon, I bet he was a boy. Yeah, and that's a brilliant truth, an awesome truth bomb. I have to say, one of my favorite of the shows so far. So how do you feel like that? Just on a separate note, how do you feel about that personally? Do you see Spinoza? Do you feel that Spinoza was right or wrong?
No. As an Orthodox Christian, I would disagree with pantheism, Kabbalism. Any of that would be against my beliefs. I try to understand them, although I disagree with them.
Would you say that those sort of beliefs are going to rise more during the technocracy because there's a feeling of like assimilation upon assimilation being the background of all creation?
Yeah, absolutely. I think a good example would be Aldous Huxley wrote a book called Perennial Philosophy, and he argues that in the future, in the sort of the Brave New World scenario that he wrote in his other books about, we would need to just sort of meld into a giant blob. So I think pantheism is very amenable to collectivism and the Borg hive mind idea.
Yeah, absolutely. Big gray blobism. Excellent. Okay, well, not excellent, but yes, you get. Thank you very much for. I really appreciate your knowledge. You have done a lot of work. Free will versus determinism is a key metaphysical debate.
Yeah. Absolutely, that's true. It's probably one of the most famous, along with God and the soul, the existence of God, the existence of the soul, and then free will versus determinism is classic metaphysical debates.
Yep, excellent. Okay, here's one.
By the way, truth bomb there would be that modernity, for example, Bertrand Russell, on the one hand, said that free will is an illusion, but he also talked about in his books that we need to stamp out human free will. Well, why would you need to stamp something out that's illusory? Noah Yuval Harari made very similar statements that free will is an illusion. Humans don't have agency. They're not beings that actually make choices. But at the same time, you can upload your consciousness to the computer, to the cloud, even though consciousness doesn't exist. You're just matter. So all kinds of contradictions in the propagandas for the technocracy.
Oh, definitely. Harari has definitely got contradictions written all over him. That's for sure. And he's very hairy underneath that those clothes. Not many people know that. Compatibilism denies that free will can coexist with determinism.
Well, compatibilism is the position that free will and causation are compatible, or that there is some kind of, so that would be false. There is some sort of they're compatible.
Correct. They're tongue twisters though, and they're mind benders as well, some of these questions. Libertarianism in metaphysics affirms free will and rejects determinism.
Correct. By definition, libertarian free will is the position that we have agency and free choice.
A pretty easy one, yeah, indeed. And the last one, the ontological argument for God's existence relies on empirical evidence.
False. The ontological argument is an a priori argument from the definition of words themselves, such as the greatest being.
And is there someone in particular who used that a priori?
And some of Canterbury.
Yeah, indeed. Excellent. Okay, you get a good point. That's a good, correct. And you get truth bomb. Okay, finish off the round. Have you any truth bombs on metaphysics in general? Maybe how it relates to us nowadays?
Yeah.
A continuation of that.
Well, there's a great, speaking of Huxley again, I'm reminded of the great section in Brave New World where John the Savage is having the discussion with the technocratic oligarch Mustafa Mond, and he reads something in a science publication that contradicts the regime's narrative about human control and technocracy. And he says, this seems to suggest there might be a transcendent realm, a God, a meaning beyond the system. And Mustafa Mond says, yeah, but we're going to suppress that, and we're never going to allow that out for the people, because the people don't deserve to know that stuff. They don't care anyway. So it's the right of the regime to suppress metaphysical truths and to give them what he says is actually propaganda, talking about science. So normie science in Brave New World is described as a replacement for truth and metaphysics and a kind of mind control propaganda.
And is exactly what we see on almost every single social media platform.
Absolutely.
And that's quite an amazing one to round it off. Okay, good point. Excellent. Brilliant. Hello. How do you think he did?
Too good. And oh man, he's beating me. And I love how he doesn't even wait for you to say if it's true or false, that he just like goes right into
knows.
Because he already knows.
I will say Johnny's right that the way that the AI words some of the things is a little ambiguous, and so it's a little difficult, but and some of them are kind of mind benders. So, but yeah, you have to think a little bit. Yeah.
Round one, Wall of Dystopia. Jamie scored 16 points, 9 truth bombs, no bonus points, no corruption points, 1 laughter point, totaling 26. Where Jay scored 17 points, 12 truth bombs, no bonus points, no corruption points, no laughter points at all, totaling 29. Honestly, I know that the man behind the scenes is in awe.
I need to up my truth bomb game.
Jamie, if Aleister Crowley took me to the desert and bummed me 666 times, would it explain the chafing?
Yeah, and the demons.
Yeah. I don't want no bum demon. Those are the worst type of demons.
No.
So what are your favorite areas of research?
What we talk about is social engineering with an emphasis on pop culture. So we talk about pop music a lot, pop stars, everything that we've been covering over the years as being vindicated with crazy stuff like the Diddy trial and Jeffrey Epstein. So it's just day after day of we were correct all along. Yeah.
Yeah, I know that feeling. I know that feeling on the independent media nowadays. It's just kind of like look at refer to the last 5 years of writing, and you'll get what's going on. Everybody's playing catch up. So, do you think that Barbara Bush was actually related to Aleister Crowley, or was she the offspring of Humpty Dumpty?
Well, if you believe Barbara Bush is a she, which that's
there you go,
brand new rabbit hole. But I've seen collages of all of the first ladies, and they're not looking very ladylike. Let's just put it that way. But Aleister Crowley did do magical rituals that were like called moonchild rituals, where they were supposed to be invoking magical babies. He did have some. What is the story? Barbara Bush's mother was known to be hanging around these people. I think it was Rose. Mm-hmm. Was her name?
Yes, yeah, indeed. In the island, having little going to the ceremonies. There's actually some really interesting. Is someone in one of the? I think it's Barbara Bush's either mother or father dies in a car accident, and the reports of it are. There's different reports in different newspapers. It's very suspicious. I'll have to look into that and remember it. But Barbara Bush was hench. She was like this. She was a big girl.
Yeah, like go look back in the high def photos of the black and white era when Barbara and George Bush Sr. are doing official things, and it looks like a man in pearls.
Yeah. It's basically white O.J. Simpson.
Yes.
So anyway,
and like teased out his hair. That's Barbara. And of course, we all know what Michelle Obama has been reported to be. So it's not outside the realm of possibility.
Indeed,
it's not outside the realm of what they do in magic too, because hermaphroditic things are very venerated in magic and occult.
And they always these things pop up during the periods of societal instability and changes of eras and downfalls of hegemonies and rich and wealthy elites. So if it did turn out that aliens used human cloaking devices to disguise themselves as politicians, which aliens would you have preferred them to be? Would you prefer them to be Greys, Predators, They Live Cheese Dip Overlords, Vogons, or Wookiees?
None of the above. I heard the Pleiadians are supposed to be the good guys that are, like attractive and love and light.
Would you stroke a Wookiee?
No, thank you.
Okay. No, I won't judge.
I heard are chill. Syrians maybe, but not Greys, not reptilians, not mantis people. Anything like bug or creepy crawly, I'm not gonna like hybrid with.
Yeah, I'm putting my foot down when it comes to all of them feet. Anyway,
humanoids only. Like, remember, Star Trek actually is all about this idea of like going throughout the universe and like banging every type of creature there is.
Well, Kirk's got to do what Kirk's got to do.
Yes.
Jay, what about you? Would you make love to a sexy Ewok?
Yeah.
Yes. Good.
I had to form in my mind like the cutoff point, and I formed in my mind one that made the cut. So yes.
The cut, there's no
Jamie.
cutting with Ewoks. There's no hairdressers in the second Moon of Endor. Do you think that the CIA put bugs in trees, or is that just a plant? Sorry, I couldn't help it. I had to throw it in. What made you begin investigating?
A serious like CIA question, and I was like,
I know, but I am going to ask you now. What made you begin investigating programs run by intelligence agencies and things that like go around that sort of stuff? What made you look into that sort of stuff in the first place?
Well, it was an indirect thing. I was into movies in high school. I wanted to be, involved in that kind of stuff, Hollywood acting, etc. And then I watched Conspiracy Theory with Mel Gibson, and I always liked Mel Gibson as an actor and his films. And I noticed they had these weird conspiracy themes in there, like MK Ultra, and I was like, what is that? But it wasn't until I got to college that I took some classes on filmmaking and Hollywood history that introduced me to those ideas through Oliver Stone films. And then I took other classes that dealt with geopolitics and history and espionage. I had a professor that was a kind of a old school progressive leftist guy who was very critical of the CIA, and he was always kind of recommending books on Latin American Iran Contra stuff. And so I guess in undergrad I got introduced to it, saw some of the documentaries that I'm sure everybody's seen, like Loose Change from Burma back in the day, 2003. So just kind of opened up what seemed to be two parallel worlds of Hollywood and then intelligence stuff that eventually, the more I read, kind of overlapped. So movies, ironically.
Loose Change was a big moment in. I mean, I had actually, I would say that I would go back and I was on the path of least resistance before I watched Loose Change. That's how I describe it. I knew something was wrong. That state of hypernormalization had broken, but it wasn't until I watched Loose Change I was like, yeah, I've just got to consume every single bit of news after that and just take it all in and try and make sense of it. And eventually you realize it's senseless. That's the point of it as well. Do you think the average citizen has any clue on how manipulated they are on a day-to-day basis?
No. I mean, I think at the most you've got a little bit of an awakening to stuff that maybe Trump talked about, like fake news. So maybe the boomer Fox News audience has some conception of this idea of fake news, but they don't realize that even all of what they're consuming is still fake news.
Yeah.
So no, not on a mass scale, no.
And you it was the right thing to marry a potential Wookiee stroker, yeah?
Jamie would have to say yes now. And so, so we're in an open relationship, but it's not open to humans. It's only open to Wookiees. So
I like it. Now we're entering a round called Wankety Wank. Honest and Truthful AI has come up with 8 quotes. However, I have sneakily swapped one of the words within the famous phrase with the word wank. I don't know if you know what that means. I think you do. It'll be our contestant's job to guess the original word. If you get the quote wrong, then the opportunity will be handed over to your opponent.
Okay, I got a question.
Yeah,
go on. Question for you Brits. Okay, the word wanker, is this just a name for the weenus, or is it a person who is actively stroking the weenus?
Yeah, it's someone who spends all of their time wanking and none of their time
I never knew. I've never known.
And it's those who like to tug and can't stop tugging, and their attitude comes out in that way. Comes out. Let's
I've never known.
Anyway, you can gain an extra point for identifying the author of the quote, because we will see pictures. Only if you correctly guess the missing word. You can only score points from a truth bomb if you've answered correctly. Jay will go first, and let's play Wankety Wank. Okay, here we go. Being chased by rabid rainbow squirrels is the theme of this Wankety Wank. Jay, you get the first one. The greatest glory in living lies is not in never wanking, but in rising every time we wank.
I'm assuming that, that's Nelson Mandela, and I was supposed to guess the word.
Yeah, and it's the same word. The two words is the same word. It is. You might not want to guess it out first, because you can only have a point for guessing who that is if you get the quote right. Bless you.
Well, I'm assuming it would be fall.
Falling. Yes, you are correct. Okay, and you get an extra point for Nelson Mandela, of course.
Gotcha. Okay, I see.
Over to you, Jamie, for the next one. Here we go. This might be a bit harder. Don't go gentle into that good night. Wank against the dying of the light.
I think it's rage.
Yes, it is. Can you listen? If you get who this is, I'll give you an extra point on top because he's a Welsh hero, and that's my homeland, by the way.
Do I get a point if she doesn't know it?
No.
Okay. He can steal it. It's not Lord Byron, is it?
No, it's T.S.
No.
Oh, T.S. Eliot.
No, it's Dylan Thomas.
Oh, dang it.
Yes, indeed. You're born down the road from me in Swansea. But yes, you were right. You get 1 point there, Jamie, for rage against the dying of the light. Okay, next one. This is over to you then, Jay. A very famous one. Here we go. Ay. Guns don't wank people. People wank people. It's true. It's true. And some of these obviously feel like they might just be the word wank.
That is Charlton Heston, and Charlton Green is made from people. The word is kill.
Yeah, guns don't kill people, rappers do. I seen it on a documentary on BBC Two. Indeed, it's Charlton Heston. That's 2 points you get there. Okay, over to you. You're doing too good at these, guys. You got to not be doing so good at this. Jamie, over to you. Here we go, the next one. If there are extraterrestrials, they're probably wanking us like we wank ants.
That are they watching us like we watch ants?
Yes.
Okay.
And do you know who that who's about to be ripped apart by rabid squirrels?
Looks like Mr. Elon Musk.
Yes, it is. It's Mr. E. You can't trust him. That's 2 points. Good. You're doing well. Okay, back over to you, Jay. I'm not concerned with being liked or disliked. I'm concerned with being wanked. Sometimes it gets in the way. Sometimes, but those squirrels don't look as violent towards Gaddafi, but one might have gone up him by the looks of his face.
Muammar Gaddafi would. I don't know if it's either feared or respected. I'm going to say feared.
Yeah, okay, I'm going to hand it over to Jamie.
Respected?
Yes, well done. He told you, which is really good. That's why
I thought you can't steal the points, though. She gets
no, definitely can. And we've already said who it is who's got the squirrel up his butt. But who is it, Jamie?
Gaddafi?
Yeah, excellent. You get 2 points there. Brilliant. Okay.
He
the
does
next
not like
one.
Sorry? Gaddafi does not like being wanked by the squirrels, it looks like.
No, which is a very strange thing because everybody knows a squirrel wank is the best type of wank. This is for you, Jamie, first this time because you stole that last one. This is a bit of a hard one.
You can't steal. I'm confused.
No, you can steal, but only if you get it wrong. So you got it wrong. You said feared, and it was wrong. And then
okay.
Okay, so Jamie, the only thing worse than a bad wank is no wank at all, which is an accurate sentence.
The only thing worse than a bad.
Oh wait a minute, it's not fully come up. There you go. This is a hard one. I get a feeling Jay might know this just by the way he's that eyebrow raise. There you go.
I don't know. Pizza.
So what did you say?
Pizza.
The only thing. It is true. The only thing worse than a bad pizza is no pizza at all. No, though, it's not the right one. Jay, what do you think it is?
Fuck.
No. The only thing worse than a bad government is no government at all. It's Thomas Hobbes. That's a hard one, but I mean, he looks a bit worried about the squirrels as well. Okay, next one's for you, Jay. Here we go.
The squirrels are mutating too.
The squirrels are what?
They're mutating too.
Yeah, I know. It's getting more excessive as we go along. I'm not a sexual wank. I'm a sensual wank, Jay. That picture is awesome. I want that on my wall, to be honest.
Well, I'm a Prince fan, so I feel like I should be able to figure it out. But then again, I mean, my best guess would just be...
All I see is Dave Chappelle when I see Prince nowadays.
I guess just man.
No, I'm going to hand it over. Jamie, go on, steal it.
Lover?
Oh, no. I'm not a sexual person. I'm a sensual person. Yeah, so he was person, unfortunately. Okay, but this is for you to guess now, Jamie. The last one is for you in this round. There you go.
Okay.
If you can't wank them, arrange to have them wanked. The only one not being attacked by a squirrel, of course, is the king himself.
If you can't wank them. Do you know this? No.
I don't know.
You're not supposed to get help off him. He's your opponent. What's going on here?
If you can't kill them, arrange to have them killed. I don't know.
No.
What is it?
Jay, go on. No, if you can't beat them, arrange to have them beaten. I know it says wanked, and it didn't say wanking. You know who that is. That's George Carlin.
Oh, well, that's AI George Carlin, so it's
I know. To be perfectly honest, I have to tell you that I had to ask AI for George Carlin about 50 times before I got that one, because they don't want to represent heroes, only villains. That's the way. So in Wankety Wank round 2, Jamie scored 5 and Jay scored 4, which I believe gives Jamie a total score of 31, and Jay is on 33. Really close.
Close game.
Excellent. So how did you enjoy Wankety Wank round, Jay? Did you like it?
It was pretty challenging. It was fun, but it was challenging at the time.
So the technocratic dictatorship is upon us. What are you looking forward to the most, Jamie? Being executed on the street by over-judgmental traffic drones, or being sent to the cryo chambers for cheese-related thought crimes?
I'm looking forward to becoming goo and being served in a fast food slop bucket.
You'd be tasty goo. I tell you, tasty goo.
Goo being happy.
Jay, when the robots come to take your wife, which sex bot will you choose to replace her? The Schnoo 5000 XL or a classic chrome-plated magical pig with marital aid stuck all over it?
I thought this whole time I had a sex bot. I thought that's what I got. So I think I will feel cheated, and I'll have to lodge a complaint with Elon, because I thought I was getting the sex bot to begin with. So
yeah, send it back. This is not one of those chrome-plated pigs with marital AIDS stuck all over it. Marital AIDS is a hard thing for us to say in the UK because we just know dildos, and dildos is such a good word.
He wants the Ewok, I thought.
I want an AI Ewok.
Yeah.
Sex bot.
Jay Dyer, I'm going to ask you 18 general knowledge questions generated by honest and truthful AI on your specialist subject round, medieval theology, which is another subject that not many people would choose.
Another boring ass subject.
No. That's not in my book. This ain't boring. This thrills me. This is nipple pinching. Anyway, you may sense outrageous AI skullduggery, rich with establishment narrative, and you can extra points by setting the story straight, adding a truth bomb or two along the way. Are you ready, Jay?
Sure.
Let's do it. Question 1. Who was the early medieval theologian known for integrating Neoplatonism with Christian theology in his work, The Consolation of Philosophy?
Boethius.
Who knows this? Jay, who knows this?
That's a really famous text. So
okay, yeah, no, okay. I also knew it. I'll tell you now. I knew it. Have you got any truth bombs about Boethius, the coolest guy in town?
Honestly, no. That one I don't have a truth bomb on.
Okay. I'll give you the point. Here we go. We go on to the next one. That's good. I'm fine with that. What is the name of the theological method developed by Peter Abelard that involved presenting opposing viewpoints to stimulate debate?
The term, I don't know if it's specific to him, but it's the alenctic method.
No. I was looking for
question and answer.
Sic non.
Okay,
is what I was looking for.
Okay.
No. Okay. Next one. Which medieval theologian wrote City of God to defend Christianity against pagan criticisms? 2 points directly to Jamie immediately for ridiculing her husband in such a way.
Ridicule me. Actually, this hat's supposed to go this way. So, the answer is St. Augustine wrote The City of God, and Truth Bomb. That book is a really fascinating history of the pagan world and then the post-Christian Roman world that deals with the people of God from the Old Testament all the way up into the Christian church.
That's a brilliant truth bomb. Brilliant. You knew it. Yes, it's Augustine of Hippo. An excellent 2 points there. What term describes the medieval belief that the bread and wine of the Eucharist become the body and blood of Christ?
Transubstantiation.
Yeah, it is. Of course, everyone knows it. And do you know what it is in French?
I do not.
Transubstantiation. That's it.
Okay. So just say it. Just say it gayer, and it's the French way.
A transubstance. Yeah, I can't do it. That's too hard. I can't even say it in English, to be honest. So there you go. You get the point there. Have you got any truth bombs about transubstantiation?
I don't know.
No one does. Who was the 11th century Archbishop of Canterbury who wrote Why God Became Man to Explain the Incarnation? You know this one.
Yeah, we just said it. Anselm of Canterbury, and it's Cur Deus Homo.
Is that a truth bomb there? Do you want to add in a bit? That's a little bit of detail. Do you know anything else about
the Latin title of the book is Cur Deus Homo, Why God Became Man. Yes.
Okay. I'll accept. I'll give you a point for that. It was very good. And you're wearing a hot dog on your head. Which medieval theologian is known for his Summa Theologica, a comprehensive work on Christian doctrine?
Thomas Aquinas.
Yeah, you were always going to get this one. No, any interest in facts about Thomas Aquinas? Anything about his girlfriends or anything? Any bad stuff?
Well, he was known as the dumb ox. He was a big old fat dude, and his master was a proponent of alchemy, although Aquinas wasn't interested in that. His master was Albert Magnus. He's the most famous Roman Catholic philosopher. Leo XIII said that Thomism is the official philosophy of the Roman Catholic Church, but interestingly, the Roman Catholic Church no longer cares about Thomism. So,
wow. Okay, that's a good truth bomb. It's like a selection of truth bombs, to be honest. It was a bit of a scattergun.
This is his Summa right here. So the book you referenced is right here.
Ooh. Oh, nice. Okay, well, I gave John Clycheck a point for pointing at a John Kenneth Galbraith book a couple of weeks ago. So, there you go. You get an extra point for doing that. Right. Who was the 14th century English theologian who criticized the church's wealth and promoted vernacular Bible translations?
14th
century.
Well, there were a few at that time. So say it one more time. Read the question one more time.
Who was the 14th century English theologian who criticized the church's wealth and promoted vernacular Bible translations?
Wycliffe?
Yes. Old John himself.
John
Big bad John Wycliffe. Indeed, correct. Okay. What is the name of the mystical text attributed to pseudo Dionysius that influenced medieval theology with its hierarchical view of the
celestial hierarchy?
Bloody hell.
It's also right over there on that shelf. So
I'm not going to give you an extra point for pointing off camera. How can I possibly believe you could just point anything? Oh, that's on that shelf over there. Too. And over there, I got a shelf with everything on. Yeah, very nice.
All right. Well, how about if I pull out a version of it right here?
So that's excessive. Okay, you have a point. Stop hitting me in the face with knowledge, man. Okay, good. Which theologian? They love this. AI is really getting you on the which theologian line. Defended the real presence of Christ in the Eucharist against Ratramnus in the 9th century. If you get this, I might actually cut off one of my balls live on Truth Bomb.
It's Ratramnus of Corby. I know this dispute. Can you restate it one more time?
Okay, no, not even my balls on the line. Which theologian defended the real presence of Christ in the Eucharist against Ratramnus in the 9th century?
That's in the Latin West in the 9th century, and that's a tough one.
Yeah, it's just in the book behind you over there, and in front of you, and on the side of you, and above you. All the books.
I'm gonna say Isidore.
Oh, thank God for that. No, Paschasius Radbertus.
Dang it.
Who saved me one testicle there. Well done. Whew. But you get that's good. That's good. So you've got any truth bombs related to that at all? No.
That one was an obscure one, so I know that subject pretty well, but that one, you got me on that one. That was pretty good.
Yeah, that was obscure. Okay. What is the name of Augustine's doctrine that humans inherit sin from Adam's fall?
Original sin.
Yeah, that's an easy one. Easy one. Okay, and any truth bombs about original sin?
Not really. I mean,
Garden of Eden and
well, I would say the Orthodox Church disagrees with Augustine's view. So the Augustinian view dominated both the Latin Roman Catholic West and the Protestant West, but the Orthodox Church doesn't believe in original guilt, which is, I think, a key element of Augustine's view.
Excellent. Okay, do you think original sin is a thing?
In the Orthodox view, which is a much more tempered view than the Augustinian view. So we would say that Adam's sin produced mortality, but we're not guilty for Adam's sin.
Okay. And that's what you would believe personally?
Yeah, that's the Orthodox Church's view as opposed to the Latin, Western, Protestant, Catholic view.
Okay. I give you a truth bomb point for that too. Which 12th century theologian was condemned for his rationalist approach to the Trinity of Theologia Scholarium? I'll repeat
what century?
Which 12th century theologian was condemned for his rationalist approach to the Trinity in Theologia Scholarium?
Probably Occam.
No, it was Peter Abelard.
I knew it was either Abelard or Occam, yeah.
Oh, well, I will accept truth bombs still if you've got any.
Well, Occam is the father of nominalism, so you get all of the later stuff that we talked about in the first round with nominalism and modernity out of William of Occam's medieval nominalism.
Okay, I will accept that as a truth bomb point. I like a little bit of extra knowledge. What term describes the medieval belief that salvation depends on both divine grace and human cooperation?
Well,
get a feeling
in the Orthodox Church, we use the word synergy or synergism.
Correct. I'm gonna stop you from getting the wrong answer and going to a wrong answer and just say, yeah, synergism. That's good. Okay. Next, which 14th century mystic wrote Revelations of Divine Love, the earliest surviving English text by a woman? Would you believe it? What a woman. The 14th century with a pen. Heretic. No wonder that a couple of centuries later, you've got Mary Tudor burning everybody. Out of control.
What century? 14th?
14th century mystic. Ooh.
It's either Julian of Norwich or Hildegard of Bingen. Julian?
Yes, it's Julian of Norwich. It is Julian of Norwich. She must have been quite a girl back in the day. I get a feeling she might have been a strumpet, but, don't hold me by that. Who was the other lady you mentioned?
The other famous medieval female mystic is Hildegard of Bingen, and then there's Gertrude the Great. But she's German. So if you said English, did you say English? Norwich.
Yeah, English text.
Yeah, so it would have to be Julian of Norwich, yeah.
Yeah, excellent. Okay, well, I'll give you a truth bomb point for the extra details again. I do like a bit of this. Who was the 11th century theologian who debated Berengar of Tours over the nature of the Eucharist?
Berengar of Tours. What century?
11th century. Is a Norman invasion.
Read it one more time.
Who was the 11th century theologian who debated Berengar of Tours over the nature of the Eucharist? I can tell you that.
I'm going to again say Occam.
No, Lanfranc of Beck.
Oh.
These were people who actually hung around with Jordan B. Peterson's relatives back then.
Lanfranc, okay.
Jordan B. Peterson is actually related to Helena de Falaise, who was the mother of William the Conqueror by two different lines.
Interesting.
Which medieval theologian was known for his principle of Occam's razor, advocating? Yeah, there you go.
The nominals.
And do you want to add anything more about? You've already given a little bit, but you can. If
I don't have any extra information on that.
So you just get correct for the answer. We've got 3 left. What term refers to the medieval theological debate over whether grace is irresistible or can be rejected?
I mean, Molinism is one of the terms used. Synergism, Augustinianism. I mean, this one's kind of vague because there's a lot of terms that relate to this debate. Compatibilism.
Sometimes with AI. Do you want to know?
Read it again.
Predestination.
Oh, okay.
I know. That's evil.
That was a little too obvious. Okay.
What is the name of the medieval theological school that emphasized rigorous logical analysis of doctrine?
Scholasticism?
Yes, very good. Anything on scholasticism that you want to add?
Well, I mean, again, like truth bomb here is that the AI, you can tell, is kind of vague because you could have a lot of different schools that did that within the domain of scholasticism. So Thomism did that. You could have Augustinianism doing that. There's a lot of schools that do that, but I guess the broadest term would be scholasticism.
Yeah, definitely is excellent. That's a good truth bomb as well. I say looking at the AI is one of the things we should be doing on this show. This is the point of it. And the last question here: which 13th century theologian argued that the Virgin Mary was conceived without original sin?
Bernard of Clairvaux?
No, it was Duns Scotus.
Oh, John Duns Scotus. Okay.
I have to say though, out of that round, I would have got absolute zero. And I think most of the people watching at home would. And to be honest, I doubted, when I'm choosing the questions, I doubt. I wonder whether the people.
I should have specified not so much Latin. I'm more of a Byzantine medieval. I should have said Byzantine medieval stuff, but I knew a decent amount. But yeah, that was good.
The specificity, to specify and to become specific in these and get really a specialist subject, which is really your main field of expertise, is quite hard to work out until you've played the game, I think, and you did very well. So can you give me one final truth bomb on medieval theology to tie off the round succinctly and get an extra point?
Well, here's the truth bomb. In the West, we are dominated by medieval Latin theological ideas and scholasticism, and we don't know anything about Byzantium. So the Christian Empire Byzantium, which was an empire that forbade usury, stands out as, I think, an ethical example that in the Latin West, you had the papacy already, for example, okaying the use of usury when you had the forbidding of that throughout Byzantium. So there's a lot of Christian principles and ethics that I think are suppressed because we never learned about Byzantium in the West.
Excellent. And yeah, we should have. That's a brilliant, excellent truth bomb to end around. And I will say, my producer here said transubstantiation was suspended during COVID-19. True. Excellent. Okay.
Hello.
Jamie, look at your ears. What has happened?
I don't know. Character points?
I love it. I love it. So it is your round now.
Okay.
I'm going to ask you 18 general knowledge questions generated by an honest and truthful AI on pointy ears and the symbology of it. No, on occult movements of the 20th century. Sorry, I misread. Of course, you may sense outrageous bullshit because AI does that every now and again. You can end extra points by setting the story straight, adding a truth bomb along the way. Your specialist round, are you ready?
I'm ready.
What occult movement founded by Helena Blavatsky in 1875 emphasized ancient wisdom and Eastern spirituality?
That is called Theosophy.
It is indeed. Any truth bombs to be had on Theosophy?
Truth bomb is that Theosophy became the new age, so you may be more of a theosophist than you think if you like yoga, meditation, Eastern mysticism, all that fun stuff coming over to the West. That's all.
I thought it was innocent to be an Alan Watts fan once upon a time,
Yeah.
It turns out it makes me a theosophist. Indeed, he hung around actually with some interesting people. That's brilliant. That's a brilliant truth bomb. You're quite correct with the answer. Okay, next one. Who was the British occultist who founded the religion of Thelema in the early 20th century, of course? So there will be some crossover with your last.
That was Aleister Crowley.
Yeah.
Thelema, truth bomb. Thelema is the Greek word for will, and their dictum is love is the law, love under will, and do what thou wilt shall be the whole of the law. That started in 1904 when he went to Egypt with his new bride, and they channeled a ghoulie from outer space named Iwas and gave him the Book of the Law, and that started Thelema.
I wouldn't trust that guy from outer space if I was him. That's just saying. That's me personally. Are you correct?
No, too many Lams and Iwases and...
Yeah, I don't like it when they got too many I's and E's and whatever in their names. Sounds foreign to me. Right. What British occult group established in the 1880s focused on ceremonial magic and Kabbalah?
Golden Dawn?
Yeah, indeed. I'm sure you'll know a couple of these answers, but then it gets a little harder. What modern pagan religion popularized in the 1950s by Gerald Gardner emphasizes nature worship and magic?
Wicca.
Yes. Any truth bombs on Wicca by any chance?
That you just said it was the truth bomb. So a lot of people think Wicca is nature worship. That is, centuries old, or even back to the beginning of cavemen. But actually, modern Wicca is very new and very just geared towards cult behavior and taking advantage of people sexually.
Yeah, especially I think is a lot of it is about co-opting the later second wave plus feminist movements, and really using women in ways that allow them to feel like they're getting power. But it was like you were saying earlier, it's just one more spell, always one more spell. Excellent, that's good, and a good truth bomb. Okay, which occult movement founded by L. Ron Hubbard in the 1950s began as a self-help system called Dianetics?
That would be Scientology, the Church of Scientology. And their ghoulie from outer space is named Xenu. So Truth Bomb, they make you pay thousands and thousands of dollars to learn the true cosmology of the creation of the world, where Xenu brought the overpopulated aliens to Earth and threw them in a volcano, and their souls came out and haunted the earth and latched onto cavemen, and that spurs a lot of problems in the world today. So that's why they think people need the help, or to be audited in Scientology, to get what they call the thetans out of your soul.
Yeah, it's true. You gotta get them thetans out of your soul. Correct for the question. Correct for the truth bomb. That's good. Now, AI does tend to give you it throws out some easy ones every now and sometimes it's already giving you the answers. So some of these will be easy and some of them will be hard. Don't expect an easy ride, but this one
I'm trying to bomb everyone so I can
do it. Collect them up. Don't think that you're going to know everyone just because you do well at the start. This game's hard. What term describes the magical system developed by Aleister Crowley based on the phrase "do what thou wilt"?
I mean, it's the Lima, right?
Yeah, of course, which I already gave you in the first question. Quite true. You can truth bomb it if you want.
Truth bomb. The end of the puzzle in that is your will is contained in your solar phallic consciousness. So you are a wanker thinking with your head.
Yeah. There you go. Yeah. Correct. Excellent. Okay, now we're going to get harder now.
Okay.
What British occultist, a member of the Golden Dawn, created the Rider-Waite tarot deck?
A.E. Waite?
Oh, yes. Do you know what either the A or the E stands for?
No.
Okay, I'll give you a correct for it is A. Waite still. Arthur Edward Waite.
Arthur Edward Waite, okay.
Of course it was Arthur.
Yeah.
Arthur, what are you doing? I'm just doing esoteric tarot stuff at the back again. Don't worry, it's just me and Satan. What occult movement founded by Rudolph... Oh, go on.
Well, I was just going to say what I know about that tarot deck was the artistry was done by a woman. So it was a collaboration of her art and his esoteric knowledge.
It's one of the most used within tarot decks as well, isn't it? It's very... okay. Great. I'll give you a bonus point for that rather than a truth bomb. That's a good bit of information. What occult movement founded by Rudolf Steiner combines spiritual science with practical applications like biodynamic farming?
Rudolf Steiner. I forgot.
Anthroposophy.
Okay.
What a name.
Yeah.
They just come up with them now all over the place. All right. Well, like I say, some of these are going to get hard. Who was the English occultist known for reviving Druidry and founding the Order of Bards, Ovates, and Druids?
Alexander or something? I don't know.
I hope you didn't do the bewitched wiggle your nose then.
No.
That looked like what it was. I mean, you can't do that in this round. If my mum turns into a cat, you'll be in trouble.
No.
It was Ross Nichols.
Okay. I didn't know that.
Okay. What 20th century occult practice involves communicating with angels through a system developed by John Dee and Edward Kelly?
Enochian magic.
Oh, nice. I like it. Yes,
So,
I had no idea about this. Go on. Truth bomb me.
Truth bomb. So he was one of your prototype of the spy for Queen Elizabeth and a magician for her. They started looking into these scrying mirrors, which were just like Mexican obsidian, and saying that angels gave them this special language. And also that the angels told him to swap wives with his friend. So,
Brilliant. That is, yeah. You get
the angel said we have to swap wives. You got to do it.
Yeah, incorrect with it, and you get a truth bomb too. And I wouldn't have known that at all. Okay, which occult group founded in the 1970s by Michael Aquino split from the Church of Satan to focus on Setian philosophy?
That would be Temple of Set.
Correct.
And Truth Bomb Michael Aquino was actually a high-ranking army professional in San Francisco in the Presidio and linked to several mind control scandals. Temple of Set focuses on Setian magic, which is merging technology with people. So one of their major tomes that they have to read is Metropolis. So the classic movie Metropolis, which marries technology and Satanism together.
Wow. Yes. Correct. And the last main event, Truth Bomb with Rachel Wilson versus Dana Duda, Rotting Jules. Rotting Jules is a really good expert on Michael Aquino. She's a fantastic one to watch on that as well. Excellent. Okay, good. I like this. You're doing well. Who was the Russian mystic who developed the fourth way, blending esoteric teachings with psychology?
Fourth way. Oh, I know this because the Mary Poppins Lady Pale Travers was a student of, what's his name? Russian mystic Gurdjieff.
Ooh.
Did I get it?
Yeah, yes, you did. You know what his first name was?
Gurdjieff. G. It starts with G.
Yeah. Oh God, you're so good at this.
I'm not sure.
You got an excellent mind, George. His name is George. You're correct. I'll give you I'll give you an extra point if you can correctly spell his last name.
G-U-R.
Yes.
R.
Yes.
D.
Yes.
I.
No.
Oh, dang.
Unfortunately, it's Gurdjieffs because Russians don't like people. There you go.
Yeah. So, spoonful of sugar and all of these things that came out of Mary Poppins, the Disney movie, and the books are also like incorporated with mysticism from Gurdjieff.
Yeah, chimney, Satan does rock. Is like that, isn't it? Yeah, I know this. Okay, correct, excellent. I'll give you a bonus point rather than a truth bomb point for that. That's a little bit of a factoid that I like. It was actually mentioned as well when Rachel Wilson was on. What occult group founded by Anton LaVey, repeating itself, in 1966 promotes the philosophy of individualism and hedonism?
That would be just your classic Church of Satan.
Yeah.
And here's a truth bomb. Speaking of sex bots and all that, Anton LaVey's secret passion was mannequins and robots and androids, which he thought were going to be bigger than Ford Motors in the future because everyone would want to have a robot sex companion. So that was his dream.
Oh, wow. Well, he's not that far away from what probably Elon Musk's dreams are as well. Yeah. Correct, and good truth bomb there. What term describes the 20th century occult practice of using sexual energy for magical purposes as taught by Paschal Beverly Randolph?
Can you read it one more time?
What term describes the 20th century occult practice of using sexual energy for magical purposes as taught by Pascal Beverly Randolph? Pascal. The really basic term.
Just sex magic?
Yeah, correct.
Oh, okay.
Everyone likes a little sex magic. Oh, no.
Blood sugar sex magic, yeah.
Yeah. Any truth bombs on sex magic? It comes up in my work quite a lot when I look into Horace Dibbin, the Perfumer Affair, and the Man in the Mask parties, the original ones. What have you got? Anything interesting on sex magic?
Oh, yeah. So it works. I'm not saying that from personal experience, but it is a real thing wherein, let's say, like Kenneth Grant, the successor to Aleister Crowley in the OTO, they write several books about sex magic, and basically it is acquiring things from the ether into the natural world via orgasm without a baby. So what they would try to do is have a sterile kind of sex and an orgasm from a priestess, and focus on the thing that you want rather than creating life.
Wow. Okay, that's probably the best explanation I've had of like the most succinct that I've had since researching it. So excellent. I give you definitely a truth bomb for that. Okay. Who was the English occultist who developed the Wiccan Rede, emphasizing "and it harm none, do what ye will"?
Was that Gardner or
you have
Gerald
to make
Gardner?
it?
Gerald Gardner?
No, that was Doreen Valiente.
Oh, okay.
Or maybe Valiente. I'm not sure how you pronounce it. Okay, next one. 3 left. Who was the French occultist whose writings on ceremonial magic influenced the Golden Dawn?
Eliphas Levi?
Yes, correct.
Truth bomb. Eliphas Levi is where we get the classic representation of Baphomet, the goat of the alchemist, who has the horns and the torch in between. He's got breasts, one hand up, one hand down.
Wow.
So his writings and his drawing actually is where we get that classic representation of Baphomet.
That is amazing, and I didn't know that. Thank you for telling me that, and thank you for telling everybody else that. A good truth bomb. What occult practice popularized in the 20th century involves using a crystal ball or reflective surface for divination?
Scrying.
Bloody hell, girl. You know some stuff. Go on. Are you going to truth bomb this?
This is how John Dee would communicate with the Enochians, and I believe maybe Joseph Smith. I don't know if he ever looked into the plates or saw something like that. But yeah, scrying. That's how you.
Wow. I did not know about any of this game. I knew they reflective surfaces, crystal balls, something happened, but that's brilliant. Excellent. Correct. And final one, this might be an easy one to end it. What 20th century occult movement founded by Annie Besant promoted Indian spirituality and principles?
Well, Annie Besant was a theosophist, but they also had more Indian flavor. So I don't actually know what term you're looking for.
Well, it's just the occult movement that she founded. You want to make it? Okay, it's a Theosophical Society.
Oh, okay.
Of course. Okay, yeah. And one last chance for. Okay, we've gone through your 2 special subjects round. You've done really well in that round. That was a fantastic to watch you go. And same with Jay as well. I mean, you both got a lot of knowledge. Have you got one final truth bomb about the occult movements of the 20th century to round it off? Something that just ties it off?
Yeah, truth bomb. Many occultists and magicians and people like that are actually con men, and they dovetail into each other quite a lot. So somebody like Anton LaVey, the Church of Satan, he was also a carnival barker or a carny, or someone who's just looking for a mark or an easy person to earn a little bit of money off of. So a lot of these magical orders and cults and things are just ways to empty your pocket. They said that there's a sucker born every minute. Or no, there's a sucker born every minute, and that was a quote from Aleister Crowley that became part of the P.T. Barnum circus. But yeah, it's just basically just con man and butt stuff.
No, I don't want to be crude, but I think it'd be empty your pockets and empty your testicles. It tends to be the thing. Those are the two things they're desperate for.
And if you're empty your sanity, because that's what happens when you get mixed up in those things.
That's what happens with the psychology of scarcity mixed with the indulgence of hypersexuality. Indeed. Yep. Excellent. What a brilliant round. Thank you very much. Ooh, okay, so
the captain has arrived.
Oh, the captain has arrived. Indeed, it's just like Captain Kirk and Spock roleplay games here. Okay, so what am I getting mixed up in? Definitely. Okay, right. Round 3, special subject round, medieval theology for Jay.
Can we do CIA ops or something like?
Well, Yeah, but no, you already done it. You scored 12 points, 8 truth bombs, 2 bonus points, no corruption points, no laughter points, totaling 22. And therefore, your special subject round, Jamie, in occult movements of the 20th century, you scored 14 points, 12 truth bombs, 2 bonus points, 2 corruption points for the hot dog hat assault, no laughter points, totaling 30. You're in trouble, Jay. After 3 rounds, Jay has 55 and Jamie has 61.
Ooh. His was really hard, though.
Yeah, I want like CIA ops or something. Can I get something different for the next round?
Jamie, who wins most of the arguments at home? Does Jay win, or does he let you think you've won?
I don't dare.
You do win, don't you?
He'll win the argument, yeah.
If you had to choose,
but he's a professional argument winner, so.
Right. Okay. Are you the winner of the arguments at the end of it, whether he wins or not?
Sometimes if you win, you don't really win.
Yeah, that's true. Jay, remember that. Sometimes when you win the argument, you're losing, and that especially in marital arguments. If you had to choose between marriage models, would you consider employing the Lorena Bobbitt methodology?
No.
No. Going straight across, Jay, what do you say? Would you be upset if Jamie chopped off your wiggly woo while you slept, or would it be a relief?
I would be upset. That's a pretty important part of life.
Yeah, I need to leave you with a lot more questions, like how many roads must a man walk down before he can finally find his severed penis on the side?
No more Ewok orgies. It's over.
Oh my God!
Unless I transition into a female Ewok.
Oh yeah. So we now enter the quickfire picture round this week. It's called Chungus the Bogeyman. I asked AI to make some of the most famous people in the swamp into swamp dwelling bogeymen, and it's up to you to buzz in first when you recognize the famous face by saying truth bomb. We're just looking for the people. That's all we're looking for here. The people you see on the screen, there'll be 8 of them. It'll be quick. First one to say truth bomb. If you get it right, then you can add a truth bomb if you want, but we don't really do truth bombs that much in this round. Here we go.
Truth bomb.
Jay. Who is Chungus the Bogeyman? Yes. Go on, say it again.
Dan Bongino.
Yeah, indeed. Dan Bongino has crawled out of the swamp in this. Okay, next one. Truth bomb. Get ready to say it. Sometimes you just got to say it.
Truth bomb.
Oh, Jay, come on. You're coming back, making some
Dwight
points.
Eisenhower.
Yeah, Dwight Eisenhower indeed
I
is
like
a
this mushroom head.
Yeah, indeed. Now, some people, Jamie, just say truth bomb whether they're going to know it or not. Just
Okay.
just
Okay.
warning you. Just warning you. Okay, next one. Here we go.
Truth bomb.
Jay got in there first. Yeah, Aleister Crowley, indeed. Okay, get ready. Next one.
Truth bomb.
That's Jamie that time.
Homer Simpson.
Yeah, it is definitely Homer Simpson. He looks fantastic though, doesn't he? I tell you, AI does Homer Simpson well. That's for sure. Okay, next one. Fingers on triggers. Get ready. Here we go.
Truth bomb. Bernie Sanders.
Oh my lord, that was quick. Yes,
Bernie Sanders.
You must have posters of him up on your wall or something.
Bernie Sanders.
Where's your Bernie Sanders book?
One trial.
That's really good. It's really good. Go on. Tell me where your Bernie Sanders book is. Where is it?
I don't have any Bernie Sanders.
Does
he have a book? I don't even know if he has a book.
Yeah, no, he doesn't. I don't know what his book would be, but it'd be something like, I don't know. Come on, you think of what his book would be called.
Das Kapital Part 2.
Yeah. Okay, you get an extra point for that.
The Empire Strikes Back. Das Kapital 2.
Okay, right. Next one. Get ready. Remember, Jamie, you might just want to say truth bomb.
Okay. Truth bomb.
Yeah, go on.
Sanders?
Yes, Bernie Sanders, the Colonel Sanders. I was going to put in Ned Flanders too, but let's not go down there. Okay, get ready. First one to say truth bomb. Boom.
Truth bomb.
Truth bomb.
Jamie, go on.
Henry Winkler.
Yes, the Winkler himself.
What's his name?
The Fonz.
The Fonz. There you go.
Yeah. Hey. Yeah, that
John
was
Ralphio's dad.
Yeah.
Okay. Get ready. Here we go.
Truth bomb, Karl Marx.
Yes. Okay. Yes, it's true. It's big bad Karl Marx, the man who never did anything wrong in his life. Never caused any trouble, that man. He was a saint, a bloody saint. Like 3 crooked Southern District of New York jailers, Jay is busy giving unwanted strangle wanks to billionaire sex offenders while Jamie and I pretend to be asleep. Question is, can we recognize manipulative technocratic cyborgs? In the last picture round, our contestants will see 6 cyborg science lovers. 4 of them on each slide have attended the Edge Foundation, while 2 have not. Our contestants have to choose people who attended John Brockman's influential intelligence-linked events. Contestants will take turns to choose. Every right answer will increase the point score. If someone guesses wrong, then the accumulated points will be awarded to their opponent. Let's play Edge of Reason. It's going to be you up first this time, Jamie, to start off. You've got to select someone who attended the fully funded by Jeffrey Epstein Edge Foundation that was so readily attended by technocrats of all type.
Let's go with Bezos.
Okay, I was going to tell you that it is Naomi Wolf, Jeff Bezos, RFK Jr., Anne Wojcicki, Hunter Biden, and Rupert Murdoch. You've gone with Bezos, and you are correct. First point. Okay, we stand on 1 point. Now it goes over to Jay. Jay, pick one. If you fail, then Jamie gets 1 point. If you succeed, it goes to 2 points and hand back across to Jamie.
I'm going to say that Susan very likely attended.
Yeah, well, Anne Wojcicki, you mean?
I'm sorry, yeah, Wojcicki, yeah.
Because the Susan and Anne, they actually both attended. So okay. you can, yes, it's true. Yeah, the Wojcickis both attended. So now it's gone up to 2 points. We're going back across to you, Jamie. You've got to pick. Now there's 50-50 now. 2 of them have attended the Edge Foundation events, and 2 of them haven't. If you picked ones that haven't, then Jay gets 2 points.
Did Biden Jr. go?
Is that your question?
Yeah.
No, Jay gets the 2 points. No, Hunter Biden didn't. It was Rupert Murdoch who went in the 98-99 one, I believe it was, and Naomi Wolf, who went on a couple of occasions to the Edge Foundation, including dinners with Jeffrey Epstein himself. Okay. The next one, this will go over for Jay to start off on this one. There's only 3 slides on this game. Here you go. On this slide, we've got Ghislaine Maxwell, Elon Musk, David Attenborough, Larry Page, Brett Weinstein, and Eric Schmidt.
Well, I'm going to say if it's an Epstein event, Ghislaine has to be there.
Oh, yeah, Ghislaine. She was Jizzy herself. Jizzy. Can't you see? Go across to you, Jamie.
Attenborough.
Oh, Jay gets the point. You managed to pick one who hadn't. Even though Attenborough didn't go to Edge events, he was a member of the Royal Society, which is the same sort of like, scientists or establishment scientists, elites in the UK. Elon Musk is actually a member of that too. It was David Attenborough and Brett Weinstein who haven't attended. Ghislaine Maxwell, Elon Musk, Larry Page, and Eric Schmidt were all attendees of the Edge events. Elon Musk, of course, was attended in 2008 and 2011 and is pictured in 2011 in the same room as Epstein. Okay, and back across to you then, Jay, to start off. Here's this last slide. Just one more slide.
It's that Genesis
you got
frontman Peter
Thiel.
No, Peter Gabriel.
Sam Harris,
Peter Gabriel?
Steve Bannon. There's Richard Thaler, the creator of Nudge Units. Peter Gabriel, indeed. And Bill Gates. So
well, I'm going to have to say that Peter Thiel is a must.
No, that means automatically Jamie gets 3 points. This is how it works.
Wow.
Straight away, she gets 3 points. You have chosen one of the ones who didn't. Peter Thiel actually hides away a lot of the time. Sam Harris went to the events. Steve Bannon didn't go to the events. Bill Gates went to the events. Peter Gabriel went to the events.
Wow.
And Peter Gabriel was in the 2011 event along a billionaire's dinner alongside Elon Musk as well. And Richard Thaler was the head of the Nudge Units, behavioral insight teams, who actually was training Elon Musk, Jeff Bezos, and a few others at the Edge event. It was completely funded by Epstein. There you go. 3 points across. That was good. Okay. Great.
If we can sing a Peter Gabriel song, do we get a point?
Okay, go on. If you can sing a Peter Gabriel song.
She just comes up with anything to get extra.
I'm making my own point. Climbing up on Salisbury Hill. I can see the city lights.
Digging in the dirt.
Yeah.
Oh, do I get a point too?
Yeah.
No, Jamie gets 1 point. Jamie gets 1 point for singing. There was an underhand comment there. Right, okay. On just to say, on round 4, Jay got 5 and a laughter point, totaling 6, and Jamie scored 3. That meant after that round, Jay had 61, Jamie had 64. Then in the last round, Edge of Reason round, Jamie scored 3 and Jay scored 3. 64 to 67. Jamie, you are in the lead by 3 at the moment as we enter into the quick fire last round. Jamie, do you think an Elon Musk gay bot will eventually travel through time to bugger John Connor to death?
No.
You don't think they'll send a Sperminator or a robot?
No Sperminators.
Yeah. Oh, that's a shame. I'd like that. Jay, if you blew up a Tesla, would it be assault on battery? No, that is a terrible joke. It is, but
oh man.
So
no,
what?
Also, we have the original T800 hand that Cyberdyne tries to use. So as long as we have that, we will never have that problem.
That could be, that could answer. Actually, if one of Musk's baby mamas used birth control, would they use a Tesla coil or would they use that hand behind you? Yeah, okay. Bad jokes. Let's have enough of that. Let's play quick fire round. There you go. We've almost come to the end of the show. Everything could change in the quick fire round and with the final truth bombs. During the break, I asked AC Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhu Baba what his favorite song was, and he told me Hari Hari, Hari Rama, Rama Rama, Hari Hari Rama, Hari Rama. So that means that Jay will be the first to go in this round. Are you ready, people? Right.
I'm ready.
Right, Jay, you have 90 seconds to answer as many questions as possible. If you don't know the answers, then just say pass. The round is over when you hear this sound.
So we penetrate the cabinets.
Are you ready to rumble?
Yes.
Good. What 1970s scandal involves South Korea's KCIA influence in U.S. politicians?
Pass.
Koreagate. Which occultist founded the Fraternitas Saturni in 1920s Germany?
Theodore Royce.
Gregor Gregorius. What CIA operation smuggled Nazis out of Europe in post-World War II?
Paperclip.
Correct. Which serial killer was called the Werewolf of Wisteria in 1920s New York?
Pass.
Albert Fish. What gangster ran the numbers racket in the 1930s Harlem?
Lucky Luciano.
No, Stephanie St. Clair. What occult group led by David Berg was known as Children of God?
The Children of God.
No, the Family. What 1970s occult group was led by Jim Jones, ending in mass suicide?
People's Temple.
Correct. What scandal involved Reagan selling arms to Iran for hostages?
Iran-Contra.
Correct. Which serial killer operated in London's Whitechapel in 1888 but inspired 20th century fascination?
Jack the Ripper.
Correct. What CIA operation supported Latin American dictatorships in the 1970s?
Mongoose.
No,
So
Condor.
we penetrate the cabinets.
There you
Damn it,
go.
I meant Condor.
Indeed, Operation Condor. You did quite well, though.
That was
there
tough.
you go. You have 90 seconds to answer as many questions as possible. If you don't know the answer, then just say pass the round is over when you hear this sound.
So we penetrate the cabinets.
Are you ready to rumble?
Yes. Ready.
Awesome. What gangster developed Las Vegas with mafia money?
Bugsy Siegel.
Correct. What 1953 CIA coup overthrew Iran's Prime Minister Mossadegh?
Contra.
No, Ajax.
Okay.
Which gangster ran the Murder Inc. hit squad?
Pass.
Louis Buchalter.
Okay.
What CIA program involves secret detentions of black sites post 9/11?
Pass.
Extraordinary rendition. Who was the Pakistani PM assassinated in 2007?
Pass.
Benazir Bhutto. What FBI operation spied on John Lennon for anti-war activism?
Pass.
COINTELPRO. Who was the gangster known as El Chapo?
Pass.
Guzman. What scandal involved NSA's mass surveillance leak by Edward Snowden?
WikiLeaks.
No, PRISM.
Oh.
What occult order founded by Robert de Grimstone promoted apocalyptic dualism?
Pass.
Process Church. Which serial killer was known as the Vampire Dusseldorf?
Pass.
What gangster was called the Teflon Don in 1980s New York?
That we penetrate the cabinets.
Pass. I don't know.
John Gotti.
Yeah, he's yelling it in your next room.
Oh, I think Jay might have managed to get some scores back. We'll find out now. Okay.
You should have got John Gotti.
I know.
Yeah. You should have. That's how the quickfire round always feels.
Well, I should have got Condor, but I said Mongoose.
C'est la vie. It is the way, but we're nearly at the end now, guys. I thank you very much for being. This is brilliant. I love these last rounds as well and how it all works. In the quickfire round, Jay scored 4. Jamie scored 1, and she got 1 singing point. So you got 2 points, of course. This leaves, after 6 rounds, Jay is on 68 and Jamie is on 69. Of course you are.
She gets extra made-up points for singing. That's not fair.
Wait. It ain't over yet. There's one always chance for one last truth bomb here on this show. So first of all, I'm going to go to Jay, and what we're going to do is you give a final truth bomb about anything, about any subject at all, and basically something that you think will be enough to win you the round, whether it be about your specialist subject, whether it be about the state of the world, politics, it makes no difference. You can choose whatever you like. We'll go across to you first.
Well, one truth bomb that could tie all this together is the CIA's alliance with certain philosophers. So in the Cold War, the CIA thought that to align themselves with postmodernist philosophers and deconstructionists like Derrida, they would be able to create culture war or cultural toxic war, you could say. That also led to making alignments with the Frankfurt School Marxists. So I would say that you can tie all this stuff together, including the CIA's alliance with organized crime through Operation Underworld, into a oligarchical model that has no qualms or problems utilizing degeneracy to degrade the culture and to control it. And that's always to the advantage of the technocrats and the oligarchs. And the best example of that is Miles Copeland's Game of Nations book, where he talks about all the CIA operations that he was doing in Syria and Egypt throughout the Cold War. He says at the end of the book, we're all about putting them into eventually a technocratic situation where population could be reduced.
Wow. That's a good truth bomb at the end. It ties in a lot as well, and is fantastic way to look at what we're approaching with the technocracy at the moment and the reasons why it might be happening. Excellent. Now we're going to go across to the lady. Oh, those pointy ears. Gorgeous. Your smile, it's fantastic. It's been such a pleasure to meet you and to encounter you. And you are in the lead. Whoever gets this, whoever wins this final truth bomb gets a 3 points to round up here. So it's a winning truth bomb at the end. Give me something that you think will blow my mind.
Honestly, I don't care if I win because I had such a good time, and the truth is that we all win if we watch this show and learn the things that Jay is talking about and that I'm talking about, and that all of the great people on the show come up. And I think this is such a fun way to get information out and get the people actually engaged. So this was one of the most funnest shows I've been on in a long time. And the truth is, I don't care if I win.
Wow, you are a heartbreaker. You've got yourself a heartbreaker there, Jay. Well,
I think Jamie won. I have to say, I think she won.
I think she won. I think you won. Yeah, the truth won. Well, a truth won, kindness won, happiness won, positivity won. Such a lovely couple. And we want you to draw, really. That's true. My producer saying it, Jabwaki saying in the bottom, he's saying, yeah, they're such a lovely couple. He wants some first ever tie He is calling for the first ever tie. And Jamie, you have your choice. Either I give you the 3 points and you get up to 72 and you win, or I call it a tie. What do you say? And we split it between you and you both end up on 70.
Let's call it a tie because he's
you can win. You don't have to do that. You can win if you want.
No, you're the best teammate ever. You do not be up against us on game night, so let's keep it a tie.
Oh, my heart. Oh, my heart. Okay. 70-70, first ever tie. I'll accept that, and that's brilliant. I like it. I always said there always had to be a winner, but no, love wins out in the end. Brilliant. Well, I hope you had a good time on Truth Bomb. That's it.
Yeah, we loved it.
Yeah, it was really fun.
Yeah, good. Well, where can people find you? Start off, Jay. Tell people what what you want them to have a look at the moment. What you want to plug, if anything.
Yeah, you can find me at jaysanalysis.com. You can find my channel everywhere else, YouTube, Rockfin, everywhere under that name. And right now, I've finished Esoteric Hollywood Part 3, so the third book will be out. Same publisher as 1 and 2, and Whitney Webb's books. So you can get a hold of that. Pre-order at the website. You get signed copies if you get it from the website. Right now,
it's a trying day. I take it, is it?
Correct. And right now, I'm reading through Max Blumenthal's book and doing analysis of his take on Western intelligence utilizing radical Islam. So we'll be lecturing through that book pretty soon. And working with Sam Hyde. We just wrote another episode of the Sam Hyde Show. So look for that to come out soon. And that's it.
Excellent. Jamie, what about you? Go on.
Yeah. We do a lot of shows together on Jay Dyer's channel, and then I have my own little spin-off channel under my name, Jamie Hanshaw. It's called Out of This World, and we just had Courtney Turner on this week talking about the technocracy, Game B, and the Dark Enlightenment, so look for those new topics. We're going to be talking about, are you a person or are you a sim? Coming up, and maybe a little Mormonism in the future. And then I'll be releasing all of my shows from Rockfin that were a little old. I call that Defense Against the Dark Arts because it was a lot of like deep, dark, black magic stuff that I didn't think was suitable for all audiences. But now that's a little older and we're a little older, I will put those up for free soon enough, and then you'll know as much about magic as me, and it's fun doing all this Hogwarts stuff.
Yeah, this is amazing. Thank you so much, both of you, for being on the show. You've made my day. It was a brilliant time. Thank you. Hello. Thank you for watching that show. I really appreciate it, and I really appreciate having your time and your attention just for a little bit. To make content like this, I need your help. I am constantly working hard to produce live shows, podcasts, truth bombs, and long-form investigative articles which expose a lot of what's going on behind the scenes. Continue doing that. I need your support. You can either support me via Patreon by becoming a patron, where you'll get shows like Truth Bomb early. You could support me by dropping me something on Buy Me a Coffee or on Ko-Fi. And I really do appreciate your support. Go to newspaste.com for more, and thank you again.
Young generation, like Prime Minister Trudeau, President of Argentina and so on, that we penetrate the cabinets